Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody listening, getting the word out there, and just spreading the joy that we promote on this site. Today we're going to talk about a little bit different topic. We're going to talk about choosing not to go to college. And in today's times in the 20th century, I really think that you really should take a step back and think, do I need this degree to get where I'm going? Do I need this degree to get to the job I want to do? Do I need this degree to be specialized? All sorts of different questions you could ask. It's not just going to be, I have to go to college so I can go party, or I have to go to college to get the job. You don't have to go to college anymore. There's so many different avenues that you could take now. So choosing not to attend college can indeed be a valuable path for many individuals, especially considering the evolving job market and the increasing availability of alternative education routes. Here are several reasons why opting out of college might have been and continues to be a sensible decision for people. The first one is going to be the cost of higher education. The cost of higher education is probably 4 times the amount that I paid when I went to school back in 96, 97. I actually looked it up, and it's definitely substantially more of a cost now than it is then. So the financial burden of that, the cost of the college tuition has been rising dramatically, often outpacing inflation. This can leave graduates with substantial debt that may take decades to pay off. It took me decades to pay off what I had, and it wasn't even that much compared to what the kids are going through now. I mean, you could probably easily go 100 grand in debt and come out with a terrible job. So the return on investment in some cases, it's just not as good as it could have been or was back in the early 2000s, early 90s, especially in the 80s. It was totally different back then. Now there's so many different other options you can do. And a lot of the degrees don't even lead into a higher paying job. And then the other thing is you got availability of alternative education paths, trade schools. I am a huge believer in trade schools and apprenticeships. And those guys are crushing it. I mean, if you don't mind doing a little hard work, you can go into school, be out of school within a year and a half, very minimal debt, and you have a job already waiting for you outside of that. Or get into an apprenticeship with a company, like an HVAC company, electrical company, and go along that journeyman route, and you can be debt-free and make a good living and start your own business if you want to later on. These can offer more direct and offer often quicker routes into professions that are in high demand, such as plumbing, electrical work, and coding. These jobs are in high demand. Like, there are people out there that they went to college, wasted the time, 4 years, 5 years, and have nothing to show for it. Got a marketing degree or a history degree or a music degree, something like that. And when they could have just went straight out of high school or even went to a tech school while in high school and came out of high school with a job in that, but nobody's pushing it in the public schools to take this route. Everybody's pushing to go to college, get a degree. You have to have a degree to make money. We've all heard that song and dance nowadays. Number 3, you got entrepreneurial opportunities. This is probably the greatest time to be an entrepreneur. There's so many free resources out there on how to start businesses and get it going. If you got the mind for it and you got the heart and the will and the drive, I would definitely take this route, especially starting young. It's much easier when you're younger. You can take the risk and go for it than it is when you're older and have family and kids, but you can still be done. So starting a business, the entrepreneurial route does not necessarily require formal education. Many successful entrepreneurs are self-taught or learned through hands-on experiences. A lot of them dropped out of college. A lot of them dropped out of high school. It's crazy if you start researching some of the famous people or the millionaires, then they have the autobiographies. Most of them all dropped out of school at some point in time. None of them, not none. A lot of them did. There's still some that actually graduated school and things like that. But Michael Dell dropped out. I don't know about Bill Gates. The Raising Cane's guy, he dropped out. He's got a huge franchise now. It's crazy how many people have dropped out and have become very successful in the world today. Then you got real world experience. Jumping straight into the workforce can provide practical experiences that are sometimes more conducive to entrepreneurial success than classroom learning. You can do all the learning you want in school, but until you get out into the field, you don't know anything until you actually experience what's actually going on in the job, in the career, in the building, in the business, anything like that. You can read as many sales books as you want, but until you actually make 100 calls, 200 calls, 300 calls, knock on 100 doors, knock on 200 doors, you have no clue what's going to happen. You don't have a clue what that person's going to say. You can match their pitch, you can match their tone, like listen to everything that you read in the book. But a lot of it is just having a conversation and being able to read the person and knowing what kind of person they are. And to do that, you have to have time in the field, time on the phones, just pushing, driving, and just going for it. Having all the no's, all the rejection, all your self-esteem beat out of you until you can finally figure out, oh, this is how you do it. No amount of book knowledge is going to teach you how to take no over and over and over and still smile. Thank you. Have a good day. Appreciate your time. Number 4, changes in the job market demands. Skills over degrees. This is kind of where tech schools come in, or doing an apprenticeship comes in. If you learn the skills, you're going to get hired. Many modern companies, especially in tech and creative industries, are prioritizing skills and experience over formal education. Companies like Google, Apple, and IBM have been known to hire individuals without degrees if they have the necessary skills. Now, there are some jobs out there that they still want you to have a degree. Medical sales, medical device sales, pharmaceutical sales, things like that. They still want you to have that degree. Doesn't matter what degree, just get a degree. But there are companies out there, the bigger companies, that will hire you if you have the skills. And there's so much knowledge on YouTube and there's books out there you can buy now. You can teach yourself, or you can have, secondary education coming from them. Gig economy, the rise of freelance and contract work provides opportunities for individuals to build careers without a formal degree. There's a lot of fractional individuals out there now, fractional CFOs, CEOs, COOs, and then you have Upwork, Fiverr, all sorts of freelance sites that you can get stuff done with that without having a degree. As long as you got the talent and you can sell yourself, you can have any kind of job you want on those sites. Number 5, personal development and self-directed learning. Kind of just went into that. Self-learning with resources available online. Motivated individuals can teach themselves anything from coding to graphic design to financial management. Financial management is a little bit harder, but even when you get a job with a financial broker, most of the time they just hand you a laptop, tell you to study for the test. You take the test, you get past it, and then you get thrown into the gauntlet and just go for broke. They will teach you sales experience and things like that. Do a lot of role playing. Not that kind of role playing, but role playing for sales. Life experience, traveling, volunteering, or engaging in community service can provide personal growth and practical skills that are more valuable in the job market. Being able to get out there and travel, a lot of the younger generation is doing that now, and I think it's super exciting, super awesome. They get to go to different places, travel the world, because you're going to learn a whole lot by traveling the world when you come back. And even just traveling the United States, you're going to learn a lot. Reduce risk or burnout and stress. Academic pressure. College can be a source of significant stress and burnout due to its demanding nature and the pressure to succeed, which might not be the best environment for everyone. Not everybody's a strong test taker, and not everybody loves doing projects or putting up hours and hours of, speeches together, putting in time for group projects, things like that. It's not for everyone. There are some people that thrive on it and love it. They think it's the greatest thing being in the group and they feel a part of something. Let them go do it. But if you don't feel that and you're not excited about it, don't go do it. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to get in there. Then you got flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Agility, not being tied to a specific field of study, can provide flexibility to pivot among various career opportunities as industries evolve and personal interests change. That's the one thing that's always constant is change. Everything's going to change. So if you go into, I have a marketing degree, and by the end of it, I think I started with a business degree or architecture, business, then by the end of it was marketing, just so I could get out of school and get on with my life. But it's always going to change. I always am doing something else. Like I could have went back for 5 different degrees by now, but I chose not to and just chose to just follow my own path. So, in conclusion, while college can be undoubtedly open doors to provide valuable opportunities, it's not the only path to success. It's in the 21st century, as educational resources become more accessible and varied, the decision to skip college can be based on practical, financial, and personal reasons, all of which can lead to successful and fulfilling careers. Each individual should assess their career goals, learning style, and financial situation to make the best decision for their future. Like if you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, something that actually requires a certificate or a degree, then by all means, go for it. But if you're just going to go in there for general business or a music degree or something like that, I would highly suggest you find something else to do. Take a different path. Find somebody in your area that can teach you the same things, and go be an intern somewhere to find out if that's actually what you want to do. I appreciate everybody listening. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to list off the 20 most worthless degrees of the 21st century. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.